Hola Jesse, my name is Fran from Spanglish Cinema Chile. How are you today?
I'm great. I like your poster.
Oh, thank you so much. I know that this story is super personal for you, for your family, for your aunt. But I'm super curious to know how you started to intertwine like the meta topic of ancestral grieving
Mhm.
to the modern individual grieving.
Question. And I will say that my entire goal with this movie was to do exactly what you just said, which is to try to use two characters who are grieving, and not necessarily even grieving about the Holocaust. They're grieving their own anxieties. My character has obsessive compulsive disorder, and Kieran's character has some pretty dark demons. But I wanted to set these two guys against the backdrop of a real historical trauma so I can talk about, from a philosophical perspective, pain. I can ask an audience to consider, what is real pain? Is Kieran's character really in pain, even though he's just individually struggling? Is my character in pain, even though I could take antidepressant and be fine? Or or are none of them in pain because they didn't survive the Holocaust? And so the movie and the setting and the characters allowed me to have this kind of philosophical conversation with the audience, if they're open to it, in a movie that is also kind of funny and has more of a lighter touch.
That was my second question. First, I love comedy as a cathartic way of dealing with pain. That's
Mhm.
one of my language, I guess. And these two characters, David and Benji, that were part of your past plays also, I think,
Yes.
seems to expect in some way to find the catharsis of grieving, but it's a long way to find it. So to make this movie, to make this movie.
Yeah, yeah, thank you so much. I mean, to me, the movie and the tone of the movie really just reflects my own um personality, which is like I'm kind of a depressive person, but I love humor. And to me, those two things go hand in hand because I think I'm using humor or I enjoy humor to try to, make my own inner anxieties, go away. And so in the sense, that's what the movie is doing. The movie is using humor to talk about these bigger, historically traumatic things. And to me, that's just the way I kind of deal with the world, and it's the way I interact with the world. So the movies I like also are like this, where they're funny but dealing, with real issues.
Yes, and I love that you mentioned that what's a real pain is because I think the name is the big reflection of the movie that you
Mhm.
cannot put value on which pain is minding, of course, the context. But there are so many layers and juxtapositions, for example, the tour of Holocaust, the business, the different kind of grieving. So how did you embrace that delicate balance to make it work in a way that can be a safe space for audience?
You are so kind and thoughtful, and I really thank you for your description. I guess the way I think about it is like, my story is so specifically about these two guys, and I know their voices so well. As you've mentioned, I'd written kind of versions of these characters in previous plays of mine, and so I knew their voices so well. And I knew that if you put them in a room together, it will be all these things. It will be funny and also sad and antagonistic and friendly and warm, but also mean-spirited and all this stuff and manipulative. But I guess I thought that if the characters are specific enough, I could talk about anything I want and it will always be okay. So I could take these two characters to a concentration camp, for example, as we go in the movie, as we visit in the movie, and you could see it kind of through their eyes. And so I guess I felt like I could do anything because I was doing it through these characters. It didn't feel like I was giving an academic lecture on history. If I was, I would probably be a little more serious and sanctimonious about it. But because I'm telling it through these guys who are kind of living out their childhood again with each other, it allowed me to have irreverence and juvenilia.
My time is up, but thank you so much for this multi-layered movie and these such sensitive characters.
You're so kind. Thank you so much, Fran.
Bye, Jessie.